Good evening. My name is Carolyn Shoenberger, and I would like to welcome you to Immigrant Issues. I'm with the Chicago Legal Clinic, and before I get into the topic for tonight, which is having an emergency plan, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chicago Legal Clinic in both English and the Spanish language. So the Chicago Legal Clinic was founded in 1982 by two brand new lawyers, and they opened it in South Chicago. At one point, South Chicago was a very bustling community. The steel mills were nearby, and there were lots of restaurants, and there was a movie theater, and lots of things to do. But in the 70s, the steel mills started closing, and people lost their jobs, and people lost their homes, and people lost their businesses. And there was nothing out there that could help people who had legal problems. So two new lawyers, graduates of DePaul College of Law, started the Chicago Legal Clinic, which was called at that point the South Chicago Legal Clinic for Immigrants. And the clinic was started in one room, and there were three lawyers. Eventually, the Pilsen office where I work was added, and the South Chicago Legal Clinic for Immigrants became the Chicago Legal Clinic. Fast forward to today, the Chicago Legal Clinic has offices in 4 different neighborhoods: in South Chicago, Pilsen, Austin, and downtown. Additionally, there's a foreclosure defense desk that is open to everyone at the Daily Center, as well as a child support enforcement advice desk. Also, finally, there is a advice and referral office at Harold Washington College, where I'm a professor. And the clinic is available to people. If you have a problem involving immigration, child support, domestic violence, if you would like to open a business, a small business, if you would like to have real estate issues, please call the Chicago Legal Clinic between the hours of 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. The number is on the back of the screen, 773-731-1762, 773-731-1762. And during this presentation, if you have any questions at all, please call the number on the screen, 312-738-1060. Now I'm going to also speak in the Spanish language. Buenas tardes, me llamo Carolina Shoenberger. Yo quiero decirle un poco de la Clínica Legal de Chicago. La Clínica Legal de Chicago fue establecida en 1982 por 2 nuevos abogados que querían ayudar a la gente del sur de Chicago. Antes de 1980 había muchos fundadores en el sur de Chicago, pero se cerraron los fundadores y la gente que trabajaba allá perdieron sus trabajos. También los negocios en el sur de Chicago sufrieron por la falta de clientes. Entonces los 2 abogados establecieron la Clínica Legal del Sur de Chicago por inmigrantes en un solo cuarto. Más tarde, cuando se abrieron una oficina en Pilsen, cambiaron el nombre y ahora se llama la Clínica Legal de Chicago. Actualmente hay 4 oficinas de la clínica en el sur de Chicago, Pilsen, Austin y en el centro. También hay varias oficinas en las cortes que ofrecen ayuda legal gratis a la gente con problemas de mantenimiento de niños, foreclosure, inmigración, violencia doméstica. Hay también una oficina en Harold Washington College, en donde soy profesora, que ofrece ayuda legal a los estudiantes. Si tiene un problema legal como inmigración, asistencia de seguro social, de incapacidad, por favor, llámanos entre las horas de 9 hasta las 5 de la tarde, hasta las 9 hasta las 5 en el número 773-731-1762. 773-731-1762. También si tiene una pregunta cuando estoy hablando, por favor llame el número 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060 y voy a tratar de contestar a su pregunta. Entonces, yo tengo unas palabras. Hay de tener cuidado, por favor. Si usted está detenido, es importante que no firme nada, que pide por su oportunidad de hablar con un juez, de presentarse a un juez, pide por una fianza. Por favor, es muy importante que no firme nada y que tenga cuidado, no hace nada que va a tirar atención. Por esto, esta noche voy a hablar en inglés, pero voy a hablar sobre la importancia de crear un plan de emergencia. Y es no solamente por gente que tiene miedo de inmigración, pero es por cualquier persona, porque todos tenemos niños y en caso que algo se pasa, es importante tener un plan. I'm going to now speak in the English language. I'm telling people out there how important it is to be careful not to attract attention. If someone is detained by immigration, most of you have the right to have a hearing before a judge. Please use it. Don't sign things. Ask for a bond hearing. Ask for the possibility to see a judge. So with that spirit, what we are recommending, not only to immigrants, but to everyone, how important it is to be prepared for something unforeseen, for a problem. And the way to do this is to have an emergency plan. And we've prepared something that I'm happy to share with you. So if you give me just a moment, I'm going to pull it up. You'll hear my voice, but I'm going to walk through the plan with you. So it's an emergency plan, and again, this is something that people at the Chicago Legal Clinic decided to create to help people, mostly people who are in immigration situations, but really anyone at all, because you never know and what's going to happen. And a lot of people don't like to face that there are problems, but problems do arise. You know, we can only think of what's going on in North Carolina and South Carolina right now, how important it is to have a plan. So I'm going to walk through the plan as to why it is important. And the reason it is important is that you need to know where various documents are. You need to know how to, what information is available. You need to have how important it is to have, I'm having a little bit of technical problems here because I haven't done this before. Other items available for family members, and they also need to have everything together. So in walking through it, what goes into it, your emergency plan should have everything where there are important documents, such as birth certificates or passports. Things that you may want to include in there may be possibly, again, in one location. You may want to have a will. You may want to have information. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. Documents, birth certificates, marriage certificates, divorce certificates. You may want to have medical records, records of any kind, where the doctors are, schools, where schools may be, extra copies of passports, identification cards. A power of attorney is very important. Who's going to take care of any children? All of these items are very important. If you don't have a will, you should get one. The purpose of having a will is not only to designate who you want to get your goods, your belongings, but perhaps you don't want someone to get your goods and belongings, and if you don't have a will, maybe your cousin will get something and you don't want your cousin to have it. So it's important to collect documents and put them in one place and have everyone know where those documents are. It is also important to have, again, a temporary guardianship. You could have an attorney to assist you who will take care of the children, and you can designate in this temporary guardianship when it will go into effect. So you can put in there the temporary guardianship will go into effect if I'm detained, and it will end when I say it will end. You can have a temporary guardianship for someone to pick up children at an airport. You can have a temporary guardianship for other types of situations. You don't need a lawyer, but you need to be careful because you want to make sure that the person taking care of your children can be trusted. Again, doctors, medication. If someone is taking medication, you want to make sure they have the proper dosage and who their doctors are. Also, if your children go to school, you want to put down where they go to school, the address. You want to make sure that the time is there so that can get the children to school on time and pick them up on time. If you have a lawyer, you should put down the information about the lawyer, and please remember that in the United States, in every state except for Louisiana, a notary public is not a lawyer. A lawyer can be a notary public. I'm a notary public, but a notary public without a law degree and admission to the bar cannot give you legal advice, although a lot try. So you should have information about the lawyer's information. It is also advisable to have a list of expenses. Who pays the rent? How much is the rent? Where does the rent go? Who pays the lights? Are there credit card bills? All of the expenses really should be down there. So again, this is just an example of what should be items that should be in an emergency plan, that everyone in the household knows where it is, can have access to this. You might even want to make a copy of some of it and put it in a second place so that in the event something happens, you will have all of the important documents in one place and you will be able to move on. So again, if you have any questions, if you need help with a guardianship, with a will, if you need immigration help, please do not hesitate to contact the Chicago Legal Clinic at 317-731-1762. Please contact us and we will look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you very much.